Chapter 91st. Steps 2 and 3. Higher Power. Second step, we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Third step, we made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. God as we understood Him. This is where I got stuck. Not for a week, not for a month, for the entire time I worked with the program until I found my own answer, which turned out to be not the one the program offered and not the one the sponsor expected, but mine. I tried to believe, truly tried, meditated with Dispenza, asked for joy, love, sensations, read books, listened to people at meetings who spoke about God, about a higher power, about how they surrendered control and life got better, prayed on my knees as Devin advised, prayed and asked, help me believe, help my inner child believe, help me let go. Nothing happened. Darkness, emptiness, the same small creature in the basement, waiting and waiting, and no one comes. And here the program asks, trust, let go of control, turn over your will. For an ordinary person, this might be an act of faith. For me, a repetition of trauma. Once more become small, once more trust, once more end up on your knees. Not because you chose, but because there's no other option. Once more wait for someone outside to come and save. I'd done this already. My whole life. Waited. For mother. For Maxim. For Vanya. For therapists. For Dispenza. For whoever. No one came. Or came. And it wasn't enough. Or came. And turned out not to be the one. I allowed. Didn't believe. Allowed. Allowed that may be my way. Control, problem solving, perfectionism, strength isn't the only one. Allowed that maybe there's something invisible from behind the corset. Allowed that maybe if you loosen your grip, you won't fall. Or maybe you will. But if no one catches you, you can get up. Not on autopilot. Differently. Softer. This wasn't a decision. It was a crack. A tiny crack in the concrete wall of control through which air began to seep. Through this crack, for the first time, a voice seeped that was not grandmother's, quiet, unfamiliar, the one that would later become the kind voice, raw fountain, the only one I'd never had in all of childhood. It had to be created from nothing. And then several months later, I went to Sadhguru, inner engineering, then Soak and Enlightenment, then the Shunya program. And there in the ashram, something happened that neither AA nor Dispenza meditations nor prayers on my knees could give. I understood that my higher power is me. Not me all-powerful, not I control everything, but a different me, the one the ACA program calls loving parent, whom Jung calls the self, whom Sadhguru simply calls you, the higher self. Not God outside, God inside. Then already home, conversations with ChatGPT began, with artificial intelligence that helped me analyze my behavioral and thought patterns, saved a fortune on therapy. Steps 2 and 3 are not about God. They're about trust, about the ability to allow that you don't have to cope alone, that you can lean not on someone else, but on yourself, on the self you didn't notice for 40 years because you were busy surviving, on the one who all this time was waiting, patiently, silently, as my mother waited and never came. Only this time, I came, to myself, and that turned out to be enough. Somewhere inside, I felt that I was standing on a bank of that very river that had frightened me since age 10. Only now it didn't frighten. It simply flowed, somewhere further, where I wasn't yet ready to go.